And just like that, the FIFA World Cup draw. Here it is in all its glory. The draw's been made. You've been waiting for this, I know. Let's get straight into this FIFA World Cup draw review. Big headlines. We're going to go through every group here. We are getting a repeat of the opening match from 16 years ago. We had South Africa against Mexico all those years ago in 2010. We're running it back 16 years later as Mexico will host South Africa in the opening game of FIFA World Cup 2026. That is going to bring such good vibes back. And of course, when that happened in 2010, Algeria were in that World Cup as well. And Algeria have been drawn into Group J. And my initial reaction is, honestly, I am so happy with this group. This group for Algeria has the perfect blend of playing a top team, well, it doesn't get any better than the reigning defending champions Argentina. You've got Austria, which is not a powerhouse, but no deadbeat. But it's a winnable game, and it's a game where Algeria can get something. And to only get one European team in the group, and for it to be Austria, I'm absolutely over the moon with that. And of course, you've got the whole narrative of getting revenge for 1982 and all that nonsense, the disgrace of Gijon. Algeria can dump Austria out in that last group game and get the ultimate revenge 44 years later. And Jordan... And as much as I love Jordan and you know, Petra and the Seven Wonders of the World, we're going to absolutely smack them. We won't play Jordan very soon in the Arab Cup. We get a game we can get something against a half-decent team, a game we should win comfortably, and a game against Messi's Argentina. You cannot ask for more. You have the perfect blend of playing a top team, playing a mid-team, and playing a team that's going to allow you to go through to the last 32. So I'm very happy. You've got to be very, very happy with Algeria's group. Of course, Vladimir Petkovic never lost a World Cup group game when manager of the Swiss. So Algeria will play Argentina first. Argentina will defend the FIFA World Cup against Algeria. The world's eyes will be on the Algerian team because all the neutrals are going to watch that game because of Messi, not because of Zerouki, for sure. Absolutely delighted with that one. To play Argentina in the opener, we're going to find out just how good Algeria are in our opening game. Enzo Fernandez, two-footing people in there. What a game. Romero, Martinez in goal, absolutely ecstatic for that one. Jordan in the second game. We've got to fill your boots. You can go through here as a third place team. 8 of the 12 will go through. And I'm telling you now, it's going to come down to goal difference. Every goal we score is going to count. Every goal we concede is going to count. We've got to keep it tight at the back against the Argentinians. Maybe get 5 at the back there. And we've got to score as many goals. Fill your boots against the Jordanians. Of course, Jordan, with their Moroccan coach, he'll know all about African football as well. So we've got to smash Jordan, and then we've got to get the revenge against Austria. Even if we lost by a goal to Austria, it might be okay. But I think we can take on the Austrians. Remember, they barely scraped through against the Bosnians. Of course, Bosnia, of course, where Petkovic is from. That would have been interesting. They barely got through against the Bosnians, and I think we could do Austria and revenge for 82. Certainly, we could be capable of drawing against Austria. I mean, who have they even got now? Arnautovic, Alaba, these old guys still about, Sabitzer. I think we could beat Austria. I am absolutely delighted with this. We could get 6 points. We're getting 3 points at the very worst. We could get 6. Maybe we even beat the ageing Argentina. I'm joking, going over the top. But Algerians are going to be very happy with that. I'm absolutely delighted. I really think we can go to that tournament and do something. We're going to go to the other African teams in a second and show just how much worse it could have gone. You see the balls coming out. And should we talk about that draw, by the way? What on earth was going on when they got the 3 world leaders to draw the host nations? I'm like, goodness me. What's going on here? The ball's warm and cold again. That, of course, was a bit of a setup, but it was quite funny in the end. I don't know what that award for Trump was all about. But anyway, I think Algeria would be playing all their games in the US, of course, as well. So very happy with that. And it got to a point where Algeria were even going to be with Argentina, Portugal or England. And I wanted the Argentina one. We could have had England and Croatia. We had a 33% chance of getting England and Croatia. That would have been catastrophic. We also could have maybe got Portugal, Colombia. So to come out of Argentina, Austria with Jordan on top of that, really, really happy with that. So Algeria have got to go into this World Cup. You know, we might come out game 1 with no points, but certainly we've got to be getting out of this group and getting into that last 32, and then who knows what happens. I don't want to look too far, but it might be Spain or Uruguay in the last 32. We've got no idea where we're going to finish though. So, but if we get Uruguay, whew, you know, last 32, you wouldn't mind it, would you? But there we are. That's Algeria's group. I'm going to say overall, I think the pot 2 teams here, right? I'm being very honest here. Morocco and Senegal are in pot 2, so that is theoretically an advantage because they've got a better FIFA ranking, the better teams, the 2 best teams in Africa. I think we can all agree. You think they should get easier groups. for being in pot two, I think Morocco and Senegal have been given, like, I wouldn't say difficult, tough groups. I think they're both going to go through. But certainly for a team in pot two, you'd expect a bit easier. So Morocco are going to have to play, and of course Morocco semi-finalists last time, they're going to have to play Brazil in the first game, then they're going to have to play Scotland in the second game, and then they're going to play Haiti in the last game. Now, Brazil is not what they once were, but of course with Ancelotti and those Galacticos, who knows what could happen. Then they've got to play the Scots. Now, trust me, as someone from the UK, Scotland are going to go on and on and on about this game, talking about how they're amazing and incredible and they're going to win the whole thing. And then Morocco are going to absolutely slap Haiti, probably 8-0 in the last game. So I think Morocco will be fine. And then we look at Senegal, and they've got France, Norway, of course, Haaland, and probably Iraq. Iraq, Suriname or Bolivia, but probably going to be Iraq. And again, for Senegal to be in pot two and to get France and Haaland, you know, you'd expect easier for a pot two side, because Norway are going to look at Iraq and Senegal and think, we can beat these guys. And of course, Mbappe against Haaland will headline Group I as well. So do you guys understand my point here? Because I don't need to take it the wrong way. I know what some of you guys are like. That the pot two African teams, Morocco and Senegal, there'll be no doubt they'll be absolutely fine, and they'll both go to the knockouts. But you'd expect them to be given easier groups considering they're pot two teams. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. It's absolutely fine. But that's my general take on it. But because those teams are so good, the Moroccans and the Senegalese, they'll both go through fine. But you just think that they deserved easier being in pot two. You know, Morocco are nearly in pot one, and they've got Brazil and Scotland. Of course, they'll batter Haiti, of course, and they'll probably beat the Scots. They might even get something off Brazil, because Brazil, not that good, just played Tunisia and drew to them. But, you know, on paper, I think Morocco and Senegal, the two African big hitters, they would have expected easier. And on the flip side, a team like Egypt, who are not great, have been given New Zealand and Iran, and Belgium. Do you know what I mean? So Egypt in pot three get the Belgians, the Iranians, and New Zealand, the Kiwis. Now, Belgium are not what they once were, and Belgium, they just love getting North Africans. 2014, they got the Algeria. 2018, they got Tunisia. 2022, they got Morocco. And 2026, they're going to have Egypt. And I think Egypt beat Brazil in a friendly. Egypt beat Belgium, sorry, in a friendly not long ago. Iran and New Zealand. I don't think Belgium are as good as people make out, but because it's Iran, Egypt, and New Zealand, they might be okay. Lukaku, knowing him, will miss a few sitters. New Zealand are going to come last. Egypt will beat New Zealand. Salah's going to play Iran and New Zealand and Belgium. And I think Salah he's going to be loving that. He's going to be absolutely loving that. So Egypt as well, I think are going to be absolutely fine. Egypt could easily get first or second, which would really open up their knockout stage route. But certainly Egypt have got a much easier group than Senegal and Morocco have, I think. On the flip side, listen, this is what people take things the wrong way. I love Tunisia. I love Harissa. I love everything about Tunisia, North African brothers and all that, trust me. But you've been given Holland, Japan, and the Poland playoff winner. We don't know who it is yet. I think it could be Ukraine, it could be Sweden. But I think Tunisia are going to be in big trouble. I could see them coming last. Holland and Japan. Japan, for me, are a dark horse. When the draw was happening, I did not want to get Holland, Japan. I see Tunisia come out. I see the A at the end and the I, and I was like, oh my God, we're done for. I thought if Algeria get Holland and Japan, we're cooked. Tunisia get there. Now, Tunisia, they like to turn up for the big occasion. Yes, I know they drew to Brazil the other day, but Holland, Japan, and the Poland playoff winner is tough. You've got to admit it's tough. You can say what you want, but it's tough. I'd have been devastated. If Algeria got Holland, Japan, Poland, I'd say we'd come last. I promise you. I don't see Tunisia getting out Group F. I'd love them to, and I'd love them to prove me wrong, but I don't see it. So that's going to be tough for them. Whoever wins that playoff, Japan, I think, are a really good team. Holland are not an amazing Holland, but they'll be expecting to beat the Tunisians as well, and there's a few Tunisians living in the Netherlands too. So I think Tunisia have got it tough there, and I really hope they can prove me wrong. The South Africans, I think, are going to be absolutely delighted. They're going to play Mexico in game one, and we know the Shabalala goal. We're going to get the second leg of it 16 years later in Mexico City, of course. It's going to be an absolutely amazing opening game. South Africa will bring the flair and the vibes, and the Mexicans will bring all the love too. South Korea are in there, an ageing Son, and the Denmark playoff winner. It could be, I think, Ireland maybe, but Denmark surely, or Czech Republic will expect that. I think South Africa will beat South Korea, and I think South Africa could draw to Mexico, just like they did in 2010. The Denmark game's going to be interesting. It's not a definitely lose, but they might get something. I could see South Africa potentially getting 5 points in that group. I think the South Africans get the vibes of being game one. What an occasion to be. I mean, it's mad, isn't it? South Africa have been in the 2 opening games of World Cups in the last 16 years. I think it's an amazing thing to have for them. What a way to return. Get back in the first game. I think South Africa, no matter how that pans out, are definitely going to beat the Koreans. Might get something off the Mexicans. Might get something off the Danes and the Czechs. I think they're going to be absolutely fine here. I think South Africa are going to be advancing to the last 32, looking at that one. You've got an interesting group with Cape Verde, because they're just going to be treating every group game like the final. Cape Verde. They've got Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. Now, Cape Verde, trust me, they're going to be happy just to be there. For them, it's let's get our first World Cup game. We've done that. Let's get our first World Cup goal. But Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia, you're getting no points, Cape Verde. I mean, and if Cameroon went there, they'd be in big trouble too. Spain beat Cape Verde, Uruguay beat Cape Verde, and Saudi Arabia beat Cape Verde. So I cannot see any way in Group H for Cape Verde to go through. A big shame. They've been shafted. It's their first World Cup. They're going to experience it very well. It's a lot of, probably the last tournament for a lot of that Cape Verde generation. Of course, Cape Verde not even in the AFCON either, are they? I feel for them. I think Spain and Uruguay will be very comfortable. I think Saudi beating Cape Verde will give Saudi the chance to go through as well. It's not an easy group for Cape Verde, that's for sure. But welcome to the FIFA World Cup, Cape Verde. Let's talk about the Ghanaians. They've got England, Croatia and Panama. Now, when it was just England and Croatia, I really didn't want Algeria to go in there. I'm thinking, goodness me, this is going to be tough. But Ghana have got a lot of players born in England, and they might get more, like Hudson-Odoi, like Eddie Nketiah. They might get Lavia, who I don't know, born in Belgium, I think. Ghana-England's going to be a great game. England have got to play Croatia and Ghana first. You know, England are going to be absolutely fine, but to play Croatia and Ghana, you know, it's not exactly a walk in the park, is it? Ghana will be really expecting to beat Panama. That's where the group's going to be twinging on. Are Croatia going to do it again? Because we keep ruling them out. We keep saying they're ageing. We keep saying they're past it. The last two World Cups, Croatia have got to a World Cup final and a World Cup semi-final. So Ghana, it's going to be not an easy game. The Ghanaians will beat Panama. England, you know what can happen, because we know what England are going to be like, but it's not Southgate anymore. Are they going to go back to being a flop in the sort of the main phase of tournaments? I hope Ghana can do it. Certainly they're going to beat Panama. I think the fact that it's England-Ghana gives Ghana, you know, like Algeria, Austria, there's something there. A lot of those players that are English-born playing for Ghana, they're going to give it everything. We don't know what Croatia are going to turn up. It's still going to be an ageing Modric. We keep saying it's going to be your last tournament. Listen, Ghana have got 2 hard games and an easy game. I don't know if they're going to make it. If they miss out, it'll be just. But Panama, they'll beat. England and Croatia, I'm not so sure. It's 2 hard games and 1 easy game. That's a balance I wouldn't want to have in Group L. Let's talk about the current African champions, but there might be a different African champion when this World Cup starts, Ivory Coast. They're going to be fine because they've got Curacao. And you're going to see this a lot because of the third place situation. 8 of those 12 third place sides will go through. Who can batter someone the most? Because the goal difference could well be what it comes down to. Ivory Coast beat Curacao. People are bigging up Ecuador. Germany are not what they were. They're the big name, but they're not what they were. And I wouldn't put it past the Germans not being that good. Ecuador got a good team. They've got Caicedo. They've got a couple of good defenders. Probably still Valencia up top. We don't know how good Ivory Coast are. We need to see them in an AFCON that's not in Cote d'Ivoire. They'll beat Curacao. They might get something against Ecuador and Germany. I just don't know what Cote d'Ivoire are going to turn up. But I think they'll fancy their chances to beat Curacao. They're going to have to try and nab something against Ecuador and Germany. I don't know. I think the order of Ecuador, Germany, Ivory Coast, it could be anything. It could be anything. Ecuador could win that group. Ivory Coast could get second. Ivory Coast could get third and go out. Who knows? But that is how Group E is looking. Let's talk about DR Congo, because of course got a playoff against Jamaica or New Caledonia. So their position is not 100% set. But what we can say is if they do come through that playoff game against Jamaica, they will play Portugal, Colombia and Uzbekistan. Welcome back to the World Cup, DR Congo. Portugal and Colombia, 2 tough games. Portugal, Ronaldo, of course, we now know that ban has been ridiculously overturned. So that means Ronaldo against Mbemba. We're going to have Colombia, Luis Diaz, we know he likes to injure African people. Uzbekistan, unknown quantity. We know about Kusanov at the back, and we know that DR Congo certainly got the quality to beat Uzbekistan. So, you know, I probably should have wait for them to qualify first, but I'm pretty sure that DR Congo will qualify and they will beat Uzbekistan. Probably going to lose to Portugal. Colombia, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting game. That's going to Group K. DR Congo will beat Uzbekistan, lose to Portugal. Colombia will be where the fortunes are going to be either won or lost. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know how good Colombia are. They got a lot of good players and a lot of good places. I suspect James Rodriguez is still knocking around and he'll play too. Luis Diaz is a good player, but like I said, he does like to slide in very badly. I think Congo are just going to be happy to be there. if they can beat Uzbekistan and just get a point from Portugal or Colombia, they'll be absolutely fine. But I think Congo against Colombia is going to be a really, really fun game to watch. That's going to be a really good watch. So lots to look forward to in this World Cup. And elsewhere, interestingly, the team that no one really wanted from Pot 4 was the Italy playoff winner. Italy or Wales, probably will be Italy. Wales might do it though in Cardiff. Canada, Switzerland, Qatar and Italy. How have Qatar ended up with that? They've got Switzerland and Canada. Now by Qatar standards, they're going to be absolutely delighted. It could have been a lot worse. Canada, of course, is in Canada. Switzerland are always in the World Cup, but we just don't know what we're going to get with them. Qatar will be hoping Italy don't win, because Qatar will be hoping they can take on a Wales or a Northern Ireland. But I think Canada, if they're going to be taking this tournament seriously, they'll be looking at that and be thinking we can win that group. Switzerland and Italy will be thinking the same thing. They'll be thinking Canada in football terms we can beat, and they'll be thinking Qatar in football terms we can beat as well. So Group B is really open. It's tough to call. Canada are at home, but they're not a great football team. I don't think they've ever got a point. I think the commentator was like, oh, Canada, 3 World Cups, not yet to get a point is a bit harsh. But there we are. So that group's wide open because all the groups where the hosts are in pot 1, it's really wide open. Group D as well, you've got the Americans, the Australians, Paraguay and Turkey. USA are going to be absolutely delighted with that. I think the USA are going to win Group D with Pochettino. It's not a tough group, and that's a big reason why I think they're going to win it. But what a way to ease themselves into the tournament. USA first. I think if Turkey can win that playoff, Turkey will come second. I think Paraguay will come third. And I think Australia will come fourth in that one. So I think that's every group. I really hope I've not forgotten one. So much to talk about. That is the group phase for FIFA World Cup 2026. We're looking forward to it. So the summaries are that we get South Africa, Mexico as the opener again. We get Algeria against Argentina, Messi. Then against Jordan. And then all or nothing against Austria. That Austria game could be a situation where Algeria and Austria both go into the last game, both on 3 points from beating Jordan. It will be do or die. You know what, Austria? Since you love passing the ball around so much, why don't you pass the ball around with us? Let's both get 4 points and let's both go through to the last 32. Because you know you lot in Vienna love that, right? Lots to look forward to. The World Cup is 188 days away at the time of watching this. Thank you so much for watching. Lots to look forward to. Good luck to Congo in that playoff against Jamaica. It won't be New Caledonia. Let me know your thoughts down below and we'll see you next time.